I want to talk about church. Church, what a word. And when you think of church, listen, you got to interact with me, okay? So I'm not doing all the talking now. Give me some one-word things. When you hear the word church, give me some positive and negative things that come to your mind, just immediately, right off the bat. What do you think when you think church? Not everybody at once, please.
Family.
Family, that's a positive, right? Now, my handwriting is atrocious. My spelling is worse. I'm just doing this because it makes me feel better. Oh, by the way, this is low tech, but I have a theory. If you use a laptop and you erase something, is it really erased? No, it's still there. It leaves a digital footprint. I use a grease pen and an eraser. That is gone forever. So thus, I should carry around a tablet. No, just kidding. All right, family, somebody else, positive or negative. Good, bad, or ugly, come on.
Getting together.
All right, you have fellowship, right?
Fellowship.
All right, that's good. Fellowship. See, my handwriting is bad, but we understand what it says. What else? Somebody say something?
Judgment.
People?
People. That's
People?
positive and a negative.
I was going to say, that goes on both sides of that. I'm serious. That goes on both sides. What else, somebody?
Control.
Control. Ooh.
Judgmental people.
Tradition.
Here we go. Judging.
Hypocrite.
Tradition.
Tradition.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Tradition can go both ways.
Yeah, I'm gonna
can't
say
it?
that's both.
Yeah.
Tradition. That's close enough. Tradition. What else?
Rules.
Hmm?
Rules.
Food.
Cake.
Rules.
It's my
What?
favorite. Cake.
Cake. That's on the food side.
Way at the bottom of the list, God.
Yeah. That's, hey, you know what? That's a good point. That's kind of tough to write in there. There's purpose behind it. What's up? What's some else?
Accountability.
Huh?
Accountability.
Accountability. That's good. Keep writing over here. Okay, some accountability. How about, I call it, I don't know how you spell yang yang. Yang. You know, when church people start talking, yang, whining, yang.
Put whining.
Yeah, I think some of that falls under control.
That has an H in it. It's a name.
It's all right, It's close enough. I didn't know if it was I or Y, so I put the E in the Y. Whining, it's people, and that falls under
That's
control.
drama.
Drama,
That's
yeah,
drama. Is
drama.
whining drama.
Yeah. My great-great-grandma put that piano there in that corner. What? Gossip. Ooh. Man, church folks are something, aren't they?
That'd be great.
Huh?
Prayer chain.
The prayer chain? Yeah. Yeah. The gossip thing.
But also people you can count on.
Okay.
Reliability.
Yeah, there we go.
About teaching.
Teaching.
I like communion.
I like communion.
Communion.
Juice, crackers, you know.
Juicy crackers.
Snack.
It is nice to have snacks.
That's good. That's a good thing. Church, when you say the word church, man, there's so many things we think of it. One of the things that grew out of our meeting last month was, what exactly are we doing here? We avoided the term church on purpose last time because the word church conjures up so many things, and unfortunately, a lot of negative stuff, doesn't it? I mean, we all, if you've had spent any time in church at all, you've seen the negative. Now, the problem with that is, or not the problem, but the issue is, if you're going to have a church, you're going to have people. And if you're going to have people in the process of discipleship, you're going to have people that are at different levels, and they're still going to be dealing with some issues that they haven't got over. I want to propose to you tonight, and the goal of my time is that the problem with church is not the church, and it's not even the people, it's we've lost focus. When you don't have focus on one thing, you're looking at everything. We can't see the tree because we're looking at the forest. And when we lose focus of why we're here and why there's a church, then you start looking at people. You start trying to control people. You start judging others. You get caught up in the tradition. And because you can't see the mission and why you're there, the tradition becomes the mission. So when I say we're going to be non-traditional, it's not that tradition is bad. We will start some tradition. There will be things that we will do that will become our tradition. But there may come a day when we have to say, you know what, we can no longer do that because we've got to be focused on what our mission is. And if that tradition gets in the way of our mission, then we begin to see the forest. And then we begin to be whiny. And then we start having drama. And then we start having gossip. Because when I'm not focused on what my mission is and what the mission of the church is, I start looking at everything else. I start worrying about a building. What happens is the church becomes memorialized. I want to share with you a couple of scriptures and some things. I want you to read the blog post that Sean's got us looking really good online. You guys need to make sure you go there. I think the website's right there. But in Matthew 16, Jesus is talking with his boys, and he asked them a question that you've heard this preached before, and I'm not going to preach it, but I want to share. He said, who do men say that I am? He's talking in the region that going around, the ministry's going, he's healing people. He just fed the 4,000. Who do men say that I am? And then they say, well, some say you're Elijah, some say you're this prophet. And then he asked it, he said, but who do you say I am? And you know the confession of Peter, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus says, blessed are you, because God revealed this to you. Then he makes this comment, he said, and I also say to you that you're Peter. And the word Peter is translated rock. He said, and on this rock I will build my church. It's important we understand he wasn't talking about Peter being the rock. Peter was an example of the confession. What Peter stood for was confession that Christ is the Son of the living God. He said, upon that rock I'm going to build my church. And I think the Message Bible I used on the blog, he said it'll have so much power, and it says that the gates of hell will not prevail against it. That is an offensive posture. When he talked about the gates of hell prevailing, he's like that when you come against the gates of hell, they won't be able to stop you. Unfortunately, the church has gotten so caught up in all of our nonsense that we have taken a defensive posture instead of an offensive posture. What I want us to be about at Common Ground and the ministries that we do and the things that we're about is about being on the offensive. There's a passage in John says, the kingdom of God suffers violence and the violent take it by force. There is an aspect to ministry that we've lost in the church. And I used this terminology last time. I used two words that we'll use again. One of them is attraction, and the other is missional. Most churches today, here's what we do. We build our building. Y'all don't laugh at my artwork. We put our little doors. We get our nice little windows. They're painted. It looks like a smiley face. We get a little path. We put a little sign up that says, here's the church. By the way, guys, never take a church that has a tombstone as a marker, as a sign. The first church had a tombstone for a sign. Don't ever do that. We put our sign out on the highway, and we stand here, and we wait for people to come in. Come see us. And here's what we do as people in the church. This is what an attractional, if you go to an attractional church, we've been going to one, here's how it happens. You invite people to come to your church. And you say, come to our church. We got great music. Our pastor teaches great. We got great Sunday school. We got great kids program. We got great everything. Come to our church. And we're trying to attract people to come to the church. But that's not what Jesus talked about. Jesus said, I'm going to build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. Yeah, you still have a building. Yeah, we still have ministries. Yeah, we still put up a sign. Yeah, we still wait for people to come in. But the goal of the attraction church is that we go out into the highways and the hedges, and instead of saying, hey man, come to my church on Sunday, we go, hey man, let me tell you about Jesus. Hey, I see that you got some problems. Let me tell you a better way. Hey, I realize what's happening in your life. Let me show you an answer. Let me help you out of your situation. Let me tell you what God's done for me, and if He's done it for me, He'll do it for you. See, we've changed the focus, and we haven't been missional. And what we want to create is a ministry, a church that is missional. Yes, we'll have a church. I shouldn't have drawn a traditional. I don't know if we'll ever have a traditional church building. I have dreams of something totally different, of a ministry center that's 24/7. That's always got something going on. Every day there's some kind of ministry taking place. But the goal of the church is not to build up a big place to come see us. Listen, in the Western culture, in the United States, in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, that's how church worked, wasn't it? We got together, we put up a sign, come to church. And there are churches still working today on the same philosophies they did back in 1950. And they wonder why they're declining. They wonder why nobody's here. And as people die off, the churches are dying off. You got a few people coming back, and there'll be a handful come and try to keep something alive. And if you got good enough programs, yeah, there'll be people that will come. but not lost people, it's other church people. The goal is for us to get out of the seats, get out of the building, go out into the streets, out into the highways and the hedges, and compel them to come in, not come into the church, but come into that message about coming to the feast, coming to the blessings of God, coming to the place where they know Christ, coming to a transformed life.